We have driven north today to visit the legend that is Steve Peat. We are going to talk all things tech. We're going to look back at some of his favourite bikes from his racing career. It should be one hell of a day. So here we are with none other than Steve Peat. We've been riding all morning. It's been amazing. But now it's time to head back to Steve's and find out about some cool bikes. Come on then, race ya.
George, are you going to get sideways again?
Yeah.
It didn't take much convincing, did it?
Right, this is our first bike. Steve, what can you tell us about this classic Orange?
This is the Bumblebee. This is the one that I lifted above my head in, I think it was 2005, Fort Bill. And since then, everybody lifts the bikes over their heads, don't they? But yeah,
trendsetting in more ways than one.
Yeah, this is basically custom. Every Orange that I'd built was hand built in Halifax, and this one, over the sort of few years that I was with Orange, we just kept sort of lengthening the front of it, lengthening the back a little bit, just to try and make it bigger and bigger. And
yeah,
it was still really small to ride, but it was one of the bigger ones at the time.
So would have this been early years, early adopter on the Maxxis tyres? Because you were on Michelin, I guess, with GT, right?
Yeah, it would have been a couple of years in maybe, but yeah, very early days, yeah.
And did you have any kind of tubeless systems going on back then like you did with Michelin, or was it just straight up tubes?
No, we were straight onto tubes,
okay.
Mavic and tubes really. I never really ran too much. We ran a rim strip once between the tyre, like for a pinch. Yeah, but that was about it.
Fifth Element shock?
Yep. Used to work with Fifth Element obviously, and Tim Flux was tuning the shocks at that time, so good old Tim.
And I noticed here that it's not a direct mount stem, but you've got some cut off bolts stuck in there to obviously stop it from twisting, which is it's a great little mod there.
Yeah, these would have been the sort of Andy Kiffin and Giacomo Angeli days of being my mechanic, so there's a few trick bits on here that those boys would have worked together on.
Hadley hubs as well. Is it right he was like stripping grease out to make them spin super fast?
Yeah, Andy was one of the first who would strip all the sort of thicker grease out and put a really thin light grease. We used to use that 3-in-1 gun like oil to like make them run as quick as possible, yeah.
Obviously an old single pivot design, racing somewhere like Fort William. Did that bike sort of beat you up compared to the bikes of nowadays, do you reckon?
I can't really say that I would notice that. I was fit, man. I should be able to ride any bike down there.
We should probably talk about the old days on RockShox, because you were part of the Black Box program, right? How did that work? Who was on it? You know, like it was only like the select few at the time.
Yeah, there was only a select few, and I think they started off with maybe brakes, then bars, and then moved it into sort of more suspension and stuff like that. So yeah. This was probably one of the earlier air shaft forks as well.
Yeah. Did you enjoy that sort of process, the testing and then getting on that stuff before everyone else? Was it quite cool to be part of that little club?
Yeah, it was always nice to get something that not many of the other riders had got, kind of thing. Always make you feel a bit better about yourself, nice. And then seeing what they would come out with after your feedback on the test session was always really good. Now I ride Fox 40s, and these are, what, 32 are they?
They're 35, I think.
Maybe, but they just look dead.
They look really skinny.
Thin, don't they, and skinny.
Mad. Well, and look at the wheel. I mean, the wheels as well.
Yeah,
it's
wheels and tyres are small. Yeah.
It's not a big bike by any stretch, is it?
No.
For a big fella like you. Right, I think it's time to move on to the next one.
Onto another bike. This is World Championships bike.
A rather special one.
2009. Little beauty.
This is the one that I think a lot of people in the UK got up very early in the morning to watch. Yeah, it was an emotional day for us.
Yeah,
I can't even imagine what it was like for you.
Yeah, 2009 was a good year. This bike, we'd finally gone a little bit bigger on a bike, and I felt like it was finally getting to a decent size where it fitted me a little bit better. I won in Andorra and I won in La Bresse, I think, that year. Every year I'd gone to World Champs for, well, that was my 17th try. Wanting to win World Championships, but that one in Canberra, I'd actually had a bad back a couple of weeks before. Didn't feel good going out there. I thought I was just going out there to make up the numbers, so I didn't really put much pressure on myself and ended up coming away with the medal.
So aside from the fact you didn't feel great coming into that, you've obviously done some work on the bike to make it as fast as possible.
As you can see, the tyres was like one big thing for me. Semi-slick on the rear, and I actually cut the tread down on the front tyre.
Oh, you shaved that?
Yeah, just for that rolling speed. Yeah. The discs are both tiny. It might be 180 up front, or 140, 160 I think it might be. And
so you weren't planning on doing a lot of slowing down?
No, you didn't actually have to brake that much. Came in, and I knew that I wasn't that fit because that lack of training, so I hammered the top of the track and put like 1.25 into anybody else up there, and luckily managed to keep it to the finish line.
So it was all about that upper half and kind of building a margin there.
For me it was, because I knew I wasn't that strong on the pedal at the bottom, and I knew Greg obviously was super fit, Mick Hanna at the time, really good pedalers on the bottom of the track, and I dug as deep as possible and still lost time to those guys.
What about suspension? Did you tinker with that at all? You said sort of earlier that you quite like to have a setting for the year. But did you
this one we would have stiffened it up a little bit, yeah, definitely, because of the nature of the track.
Yeah. So obviously the goal was to make this bike roll as fast as it possibly could, but what about things like weight? Was that something you were really conscious of?
Yeah, I think weight, like obviously the discs, we went smaller discs because that took a lot of weight out of it, and if you look closely, there's only 3 bolts in each disc too, so we went as light as possible. There was hardly any braking on that track, so didn't need all the 6 bolts, did we? The wheels were hand polished by Ricky Bobby, my mechanic at the time.
They look cool, don't they? They look small, but they look really cool.
I was actually, if you see the rear wheel, the dings in the back of the rear wheel, I was lucky to make it down the track like that. I got those up in that top rock garden, and luckily made it to the finish.
So were you conscious of that as you coming down? Did you hear or did you feel those sort of impacts?
You always feel those big hits, but you just hope that you don't get flat from it. Yeah, just you've got to carry on, aren't you? You're pretty focused on downhill run. Mick Hanna was in the hot seat at that time, and when I beat his time, obviously it was in Australia, he wanted that win bad there. I knew I'd put a decent time in, but then I had to sit there. Greg might have been the next person down, and I just saw him chipping away at my pedally bit at the bottom, and the time coming down.
Super close,
and ended up smoking him in the end. Me and Greg always worked really well together, like on track, but he always had a different way of setting bikes up. Like he'd be tinkering with things like every run. I needed to be the one that rode the bike better. I'd got the bike set up and it felt really good, and then I'd try and ride it faster and faster and get quicker on the track. Why would I try and change it to be better when I just need to ride it quicker?
Here we are then with an 8th gen Santa Cruz V10, which you've called the Stella bike.
It is the Stella bike.
It is the Stella
Everyone
bike.
loves the Stella, don't they? It's funny, this bike, people cast their eyes on it and it just sits really well. Everybody loves it. It's got nice colours running through it, but yeah, this is a bike that finally fits me really well.
What's sort of so special about it for you?
For me, this bike's a couple of years old now, but when this frame first came out, the bike, obviously everything gets refined a little bit and just bigger, better, faster. One
thing I did notice about this is while you've got other Saint bits kicking around from Shimano, you're actually running the XTR brakes. Why is that?
I've always preferred the XTR brakes, and really it's a me issue.
Okay.
It's the way that I brake.
Yeah.
I come into a corner, brake really late, and I get on the brakes really hard. And for me, the Saint on the front is actually a little bit too grabby for me. So over the years I've used Saint, and I've actually detuned the pads and detuned the brakes a little bit not to have as much bite. So it's really just the way that I brake. XTR work better for me with how they're sort of a bit more progressive, and I get on them harder, then I can like lean into the power a bit more.
When it comes to suspension and setup and stuff like that, does it feel like we've come on leaps and bounds from when you first started out? Small steps, or has it been big jumps?
Yeah, no, a lot of people always ask me that, what's different on this bike to a bike 5 years ago, and it is those small steps. Everything just gets refined and slightly a little bit better every year and differently. And same with suspension. Fox are just like constantly upgrading dampers, constantly upgrading like chassis. Yeah, it all just like tweaks its way up, doesn't it, slowly?
Nice. And another thing before we kind of wrap this one up, you've got your own grips now.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
they're amazing, aren't they?
They're good, yeah, they really are good.
I love the fact that I get on a bike and I feel my grips, and I like the feeling, and we spent a lot of time. Anything that we design through Peat is we spend a lot of time going backwards and forwards, and we won't let it out until we're happy with it and it fixes a problem or it's just a really good product. So stand behind them and yeah, happy with how we do it.
Go on then, Steve. Why is it Stella?
It was a bit of a thing. We'd always drink Stella, and when I used to drive back from Europe from a race, we'd go to, I think it was called EastEnders back then. You know, when everyone was driving to Europe and buying loads of beers and stuff like that, I'd go to EastEnders and I'd fill the back of the van, whatever space we'd got left around the bikes and stuff, with crates of Stella. Nice. And when you bought it from EastEnders, it was actually brewed in Belgium, and it was nicer. It didn't give you the wife beater name and the hangover as bad as the sort of stuff that was brewed in the UK. But yeah, always loved Stella, and I just thought it looked good on a bike, and it actually came out better than I thought.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? So who painted it?
Ali at Fat Creations painted this one. Yeah, he's
really
done quite
cool.
a few bikes for me and always does a great job. So.
What a day it's been. Thank you so much, Steve. That's been incredible.
No worries, mate. Glad your nosebleeds stopped.
So good to see so many cool bikes and look back over your race history and find out a bit more. It's been brilliant. So thank you very much.
We love reminiscing, don't we, mate?
Exactly. Whatever you do, please stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, give us a like, and obviously let us know in the comments if you want to see more stuff like this.